Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you're brand new to my channel, yay, you finally found me. I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a particular movie. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Curious Cater Foiled Plans. This Hallmark mystery is now available on the Hallmark channel, also available on Peacock. The movie is TV PG and is family friendly. I'll give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. The film is an hour and 30 minutes long, which is perfect. And my overall movie review mom grade is a B plus. I thought it was actually pretty cute. So I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out all the things I liked, the things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about if you watch this with other people, interesting lines, funny lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are very similar that I think you might also really like if you like this one. But first, let me introduce you to today's featured product, which is a collection of scone mixes. And that's in honor of the movie where we see some characters eating scones during this medieval feast. So click on the link below, and it won't cost you any more to purchase it if this looks yummy to you, but Amazon will send me a few pretty pennies, and that helps my channel to grow. So let me give you an overview in the nutshell first. So the fun story is about Goldie Berry. I always like Hallmark's names for characters, and that lets you know that this one's going to be about cooking, obviously, because she's a caterer. She has a very sharp mind, and she can work out clues to a murder mystery and look beautiful while doing it. She teams up with her love interest, the handsome detective Schultz, to solve a murder mystery at a medieval feast at Hyde Castle. The movie is based on a book series by Diane Mott. What makes this mystery series unique is that the romance doesn't instantly flame right away. They meet each other and 5 minutes later he proposes and they're in love. The Caterer series definitely takes its time unfolding the relationship at a very realistic, slow pace, I thought, which is appropriate. The film was directed by Paul Ziller, and screenwriting credits go to Diane Mott, of course, Diane Mott Davidson, as well as Julie Kim and Karine Marwood. Hopefully, I pronounced her name correctly. Maybe it's Corinne. Anyway, good job. So, let me give you some quick tips for parents. I think kids are mostly going to be bored unless they're older and they're really into medieval settings, mysteries, fencing, romance, or drama. So, maybe teenage girls will think this is cute. Someone dies a bloody death. We actually do see blood, and other people die bloodless deaths or are wounded. We see some fighting. Some of it is fencing fighting, with the swords as a sport, and some of it is, fisticuffs type of fighting. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are legacy, making amends, greed, critical thinking skills to solve those mysteries, truth, and relationships. So the list of things that I really liked about this movie is long. I thought it was cute. The title is clever on a couple of levels. The foil refers to catering because, it's used to, aluminum foil is used to cover food items. We don't actually see it, but that's what I'm working at in my mind because it's about catering, as well as to fencing, the swords and the foils that are used in the sport of fencing. I really like the leading couple played by Nikki DeLoach and Andrew W. Walker. I was amazed at how many times the couple could have kissed during their quiet moments together, but didn't. As I said, this mystery series isn't a sloppy romance where they jump into bed and, instantly and rushes, from a chance encounter to marriage. And I really appreciate that the focus on the movie is the mystery with a touch of a slowly budding romance. And this whole new mystery section of movies, or maybe collection is a better word, is a lot of fun. It's not just one super cheesy, sappy romance, one and done, but it's a series where you really get to know these characters and fall in love with them while they fall in love with each other. And I just think it was such a clever, great idea. Riley Davis plays this awkward guy who has a crush on Britt Good's character, which provides a lot of comic relief. And there are some other funny moments, nothing laugh out loud. It's definitely not a comedy. I love the creative evidence board. I thought that was super cute. What's funny is one of the items on my husband's bucket list for life is to have an evidence board. So one year I actually made one for him. He's like, well, that doesn't count. There's some really great fun costumes in this movie, and you really get the whole medieval vibe. It's fun spending time in a real castle. And in fact, the movie was filmed at Hatley Castle on Vancouver Island in British Columbia in Canada. I had the great pleasure of going to British Columbia just about 2.5 years ago. And for the very first time ever, it's just beautiful. It's a popular setting, this castle specifically for films. And it was used in the 2016 Deadpool movie. I said that weird, Deadpool movie. You ever saw that one? Also, the 2015 movie called Descendants and X-Men First Class, which is a movie that came out in 2011. And I'm sure it'll be used many more times because it's a cool looking castle. Fun fact, Millhaven is the name of a real prison in Canada that's mentioned in this movie where the movie was filmed. Tom's father, Tom as a character, escapes from the Millhaven prison, even though the US doesn't have a prison with that name. So, whatever. Fun fact. Maybe it's not that fun. All of the plot twists will keep you guessing until the very end in this whodunit romance. Now, with all of that praise, there were just a few things that I didn't like or thought could have been done better or differently. For example, there are a lot of character names and backstories to remember. You're going to be like, wait, they're talking about a character like, wait, which one was that? Oh, you kind of almost have to create this pedigree chart or something. There are some bad acting moments, unfortunately, but overall, I think the entire cast did a really good job. Hallmark movies that feature culinary themes often show a lot of delicious food, but we only really see some scones, cookies, and hot chocolate being offered to the guests. So that's disappointing since the event in the castle is supposed to be this entire medieval feast. And I would like to have seen some more delicious food. And as I mentioned, there's not that much humor. A little bit more would have been a nice touch. So whenever I watch movies, I take notes. I write down the funny lines and interesting lines that I hear simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste for the dialogue quality, screen writing quality, and all of that. I have all of them written on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can run over there and check those out. But I'll share some of them with you right now. So as Goldie Berry, who's played by Nikki DeLoach, walks into this medieval castle, she's looking around and she says, this place would be a nightmare to childproof. And I just thought that was funny. And then Eric Breaker plays a character who says, everyone has to bend the rules every once in a while. And I thought that was an interesting line because I'm not sure if I agree with it. What do you think? I mean, I have done that in my life because I thought there was a good reason. But generally, what do you think? Comment down below. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Now, while I was watching this movie, I instantly thought of 3 other films that you should watch that I think you're really going to like. The first are 2 other Curious Caterer movies in this series. One is called Dying for Chocolate. That came out in 2022. And I love that title because it refers to the catering, the food, the chocolate, and there's a murder because somebody's dying, right? And then another one is called Curious Caterer Fatal Vows. Now, that one's definitely not as clever of a title, but I think you might get a kick out of this whole series of the Curious Caterer. And then another movie that's a Hallmark love romance with food is called Sweeter Than Chocolate. And it is just the classic romance, very cheesy, but lots of really delicious looking food in that one. So definitely check those out. And when you get a minute, join us over at Facebook. I have a group called Movie Review Mom where we chat about movies, of course. And then you can find me on Instagram as well as a bunch of other social media platforms. And you can also find me as my name, Trina Boice, and you'll learn about when my books go for sale on Amazon for free, which is almost every weekend because I have 31 books out. You can also learn about my online courses and my products and my other shenanigans. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.